What's up, VeeFam? Welcome back to another episode of VeeFam Sessions. My name is Mr. Messer, and you could call me Rob. I'm so privileged to be joined today by content creator, real estate agent, VeeFriends collector extraordinaire, gift goat, uh, six tops chrome sketch artist. I don't know where the accolades begin or end, but Amit Bhuta, thanks for being on the show today. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be on. I've listened to like 40 of them already.
I appreciate that wholeheartedly. That's amazing. So excited to sit down and get to know you. Feel like we've been seeing if you're on X, your face should be very familiar because you show up consistently. You're the consistent cougar there, um, and generous gerbil, many D, all of the above. Um, but I'm interested to dive into your story behind all of the giving and behind all of the amazing things that you're doing for the community. So yeah, let's take it back to the beginning if you don't mind. Can you give us like you're a big comic guy? Can you give us the brief comic book one of Amit?
Yeah, good question. So I thought about this the other day because I don't want to be too long. So 57 years ago, I was born in India, lived there 9 months, lived in England for 3 years, and have lived in the US since then in Miami Beach. And I was an Indian kid, conservative, sort of a geek, smart in school. People copied off me. And when I got into high school, I found myself and I realized I'm pretty funny. I can make people laugh. And so went to college, did finance at FIU in Florida, and then did real estate. No, not real estate. I did car sales. I was like, my friend told me about car sales, and I didn't think it was car sales. It was like a blind interview. Ended up being in the car business 11 years, was a sales manager, finance manager, got burnt out, then went into real estate. I thought I was the smartest person in the world. I'm doing real estate, and I sucked. Sucked really bad. And then my life got hard. Seven of my friends committed suicide over the years. Then I got suicidal for many years. And then one day I was at my parents' house, and my mom, there was someone about my age that was Indian, and he had committed suicide. And my mom said something that changed my life. She said, "How selfish of him." And I never thought, like, if you kill yourself, that you're gonna hurt people, because when you're in it, you're in it. And so from then on, 100% loving life, like to the top. I love life so much, people think I'm high a lot. And I'm not. I'm just happy. Got into real estate after, wasn't good at it, then got into content creation, found Gary Vee and some others, and started doing content creation. Got pretty good at it, realizing that if you're authentic, you can get people to you find your tribe basically. And from
Sure.
then on, I followed Gary, and that's the story.
Um, Whoa, that's a hefty comic book one. There's a lot there. Um, let me tiptoe all the way back. Sales. You said you were in finance, and you don't need to be a people person per se to be in finance. But when it comes to face sales, like selling cars or real estate, it definitely helps if you are a front. If you enjoy people, was sales something that was natural for you? You
Not at
said you
all,
said you
man.
sucked at real estate. I don't know if you were alluding to that component of it. So you weren't a natural
Not
face
at
to
all.
face.
So I graduated college with my friend Laura, and at that time we were looking for jobs, and this was back in 92. I'm old, right? So at that time, it said, she saw the ad, it said salespeople wanted, college degree required, 8 weeks guaranteed, 500 a week. So we're like, screw it, we'll go to the interview. Beside that, before that, we were just going to lunch every day and just hang out. So we're like, okay, 8 weeks, $500. We can make 4 grand in 2 months, better than now. And then I found out it was to sell cars. I'm like, damn, man, it's to sell cars. I went to college to sell cars. And then I sort of liked it. And I was there 11 years, and I started to get better at it. And I wasn't a people person, but I became one.
So this was late 90s.
Yeah.
So the I'm trying to think of like the timeline of Miami, and obviously you know much better than me. What was it that uh, pushed you into not only becoming a real estate agent there, but ultimately, you, and we'll jump into your YouTube era soon, but you got on YouTube. I looked November 26, 2006. Like you're one of those OGs that, like Gary. Like nobody was on YouTube then. So I'm curious, and you could like jump around wherever you see fit. But I'm curious, the jump from second real estate, super depressed, to the content creation, which I think you alluded that it helped spark your happiness. Um, I'm just curious how all the pieces fit together.
Yeah, so it's like a stupid reason why I got into YouTube. I got an iPhone and the camera was good, and I was like, okay, let me get on YouTube because I could do videos, and I didn't do that many. I was scared because I'm like most people, at least in the beginning. You see yourself on camera, you think you look better, you think you sound better, and you think it's the software or the hardware why it's not looking good. And then you realize that's you, and everyone knows that's you. You don't know that's you. Um, so yeah, I started doing that, and YouTube, it's like on the first time you're on the internet or TikTok or whatnot or whatever. You don't know anything about it, but once you start, it's like if you're going to the gym and you've never gone, after 2 months you're training everyone. It's like you learn so much really quickly, and so from that was the reason.
Do you remember what your first video was?
Yeah, it's like me with food or something, just really stupid video, but it was fun for me.
Amazing. So, I mean, right now in 2026, you're up to 170,000 subs, and over 12 and a half million views, across over 300 videos. So you've obviously been consistent. You've obviously improved your craft. How is that? Has it been a big uh, contributor to your real estate business?
Yeah, so in about 2016, 2018, give or take, then I started doing a lot of content, like a ton of content on everything. And in the beginning, I was just really bad at it. I remember my sister, who's like, she's an older sister, biggest fan, not in real estate, but just will promote me to the world. I went to my parents' house and she said, "Hey, Amit, I saw your post on Facebook. I didn't read it, but I liked it." And I'm like, man, my biggest fan doesn't even want to read my crap. So I need to start creating stuff that people want to like consume. And so from then on, I started doing content, and then I got bigger, and I have a small team. I show homes. The last home I showed was like a year and a half ago. My team does everything, 99% of the stuff. We have some celebrity clients. We have some other finance people, and we're fortunate that we have, and that we live in Miami. Prices have gone up like crazy. So I get a lot of people calling me because we do content, and I have my team in the content a lot of times because I don't do just YouTube. I do 15 blogs a week. I do like ridiculously a lot of stuff. I need to do more, but from there we get probably 90% of our business from content creation.
Wow, it's amazing. Do me a favor, because we're in the, obviously a lot of the people that listen to the show are fans of Gary, some fanatics, and he's in the era, as always. He's always in this era, but preaching, uh, post, quantity, quantity, quantity. So you said 15 blogs. Humor us with what you put out in a given week.
Okay, so 15 hyper local blogs. So I'll give you an example. Say someone is thinking about going to Miami, visiting Miami. They know Miami as Miami, but they don't know Miami as Pinecrest, where I live in Miami. So, like in 1 week, I'll do the top 15 date spots, and I'm sorry, I'll do 15 blogs on Pinecrest. So one will be top 5 date spots. top 5 Instagrammable spots, top 5 hotels, just a bunch of different stuff. And then it's like sort of like you're watching a movie with Tom Cruise and you see that he has an iPhone. It's like the product placement. We try and do content like product placement is the real estate. You know that I'm an agent, but you don't care that I'm an agent. You'd rather know where you should eat tonight or if
Bring
you're
value,
vegan.
sure.
Yeah. So 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 15 blogs. Then would do a podcast. If you check, I have a lot of podcasts. If you check also Instagram, I have a lot on Instagram. I on TikTok, I mean not on X with Gary V with you VeeFriend. Every day I've done a unboxing for the last like 50 days. Every single day. Every single day. And I'm going to LA next week and I'm going to do 4 of them before I go to LA, so I'll have one every day. Because I'm not competitive like crazy, but to myself I am. If I have a goal, I want to do it. So besides that, there's too many things to say like that I do. I do stuff that I like to do. And someone taught me a long time ago, if you're going to do content, do it. So don't have a schedule of content, because if you do a shitty one, no one wants to hear it. Instead, do one when you feel like you're going to do a good one, you know? And because that's important. It's like sending emails to everyone. If I send an email every week to someone and some weeks it sucks, some people aren't going to want to open my emails. Because I do so much, VeeFriends is crazy because, like, the VeeFam is crazy because X, which is my smallest platform where I have 2,000 people on it, I get 1,000 views every day, just about, with my videos that I do. And they suck. They're 40 to 60 minutes long. And whatever, it's funny because, as Gary taught us, it's lacking attention, right? There's not enough content for VeeFriends. That's why people look for it.
Yeah. Amazing. That's such a great take, and it's 110% true. Uh, how did you get here? I'd love to know the first time you mentioned Gary in your opening um, comic book one segment, but I'd love to know, like, if there was a piece of content that you saw or you saw him speak or whenever that initiation was, and then how you got here. How did you find VFriends? So two prong
Yeah.
question there.
Yeah. So I started listening to Gary for marketing advice for real estate because his way was cool. It was fun. And just like everyone in the beginning, you're like, is this guy real? Or, and you're just not sure of what you think about him. And one of the things that there's a song by Drake, it's called Crew Love. And in the song, he says, I really like who I'm becoming. And I try and do that every day. And I used to try and do that, after my suicidal days and all that. I started like trying to enjoy life as much as I could. And Gary's blend of kindness to that really, I mean, it could put a tear in my eye. So like from that, I also know Gary's sister, Liz. Liz was on my friend's team in real estate. Um, she no longer is on that team, but I know Liz. It's funny, I had a conversation with her a few years back. She called me and she's like, "Hey, Amit, how are you doing?" And I started talking about the world and not real estate. And she's like, it's so refreshing. I called a real estate agent, a friend, and they didn't talk about real estate for 1 second. So I start, and then like when the mint came for VeeFriends, basically I was prepped, I was ready because I was listening to Gary forever. But honestly, real estate, you go up and down. So I didn't have too much money at the time. Not that I'm rich or anything, but I didn't have that much money that time. And I saved up, I had the money for the mint, but I didn't have the time to do it. So then eventually I bought one like a few months later or a year later, whatever it was. And Liz called me and she's like, "Hey, are you gonna go to VCon 1?" And I'm like, this was before I had one. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. I don't have one yet, but I'm gonna go. So that was my goal. Like we all have goals. So that was my goal. So I bought my charismatic chameleon core for like 38,000 and I was able to go. And it's funny because I have like, whatever, 70 plus V friends, but I only had two last year in May, and it's gone up a lot.
So yeah, let's tap into that. Uh, why the conviction? Obviously, it's happened in the last year. I don't know if it was a subtle, gradual, waves, or was there a light bulb moment, or was it the latter?
Yeah, great question. And it was because I was buying a Comic One on eBay, way overpaying, like ridiculous. And I was fortunate enough to meet Travis Allen Hall. I feel like I shouldn't say the Allen, but Travis. I was meeting Travis. And with Travis, he told me about Discord. And I was on it like before, like even like when the Mint or whatever, or whenever Gary first started. If you see, I've been in Discord longer than VeeFriends has been in Discord. And but I I heard your wife say this thing because I listened to her interview last. And she said, I was in Discord and I saw it scrolling down so fast. It's like, screw this. Like, I'm out. And
Yeah,
that was me. That was me. I was out. But then when Travis told me about it, I was like, oh wow, I could actually read stuff. And I started getting to know the community. And because of that, and I day trade. I make the majority of my money from day trading. I always say about my videos, like what I'm trading and stuff like that. And I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I made 21,000 today, this morning, from day trading.
it's a good
Not
day.
every day is a good day, but yeah, so because of that, because day trading allows me to make a good income. I'm able to invest in things. My wife and I have the traditional investments like Tesla and all the other ones, and the like conservative Meta and all those. But then I thought for VeeFriends, a lot of people ask me, why do you spend, I'm probably seven figures in this. I'm crazy. But why do I spend so much money on it? And it's a few reasons. I know I can get an ROI at a better place. I know for sure I can get a better ROI than putting my money in VeeFriends, at least now, maybe not in the future. But there are a few things I want. I'm 57, like I said a few times. I want community. I want love. I want that from people, and I feel it. I feel like you're my brother. You don't even know me, but I feel like you're my brother because I listen to you. I listen to you more than anything in my car or anything at all. So
It's awesome. I
that
appreciate you saying that.
no, my pleasure. So I wanted community. Also, I wanted to invest in crypto, right? And a way to invest in crypto, especially because a lot of things I've done with Gary, they've enabled me to make a lot of money. And so with crypto, if I invest in an NFT and VFriends goes up, I get like a combination. Like I used to work at a Chinese restaurant, so I say stupid saying sometimes. I get a combination platter. I get like the fantail shrimp with the ribs at the same time, you know, because as the NFT, as Gary builds up VFriends, and I love how he does the cards and the physical and everything, because if NFTs are down and the physical is doing well, it's like you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're doing many things. So that was the reason I wanted to be able to invest in something in crypto. I wanted community, and also I love collecting. I used to collect baseball cards, basketball cards. I was heavy into that.
Are you still active with that with side of collecting, or have you just been day
You
trading
know,
and VFriends?
I have all that stuff. Like I have like Brady rookie. I have like the whole 1986 Flair PSA graded set of Jordan and all these
Oh
other
wow,
things. But I'm gonna start selling some of that. Like I keep track of it because I want to know because I'm interested. Like to give you an example, I have two Dan Marino rookie PSA 10 cards. One sold the other day for like 6,500. I paid 3 grand for it. I'll sell it. I'll put some of it in VFriends. I'll put some of it in other stuff. But I want to put stuff that I have money in into stuff that I like because at the end of the day, how much can we eat? I'm not wealthy by any means. I'm not like one of these guys that could put $100,000 bounty. But some months, I'll tell you, like in day trading, my best day is 116,000. My best month is 380,000. But some months I make zero. So, and I love that. I love that, love that, love that about it, because some months I feel like if I worked at McDonald's, I would make more. And I can really relate to that group. And some months I can relate to like these whales. So I really like that part about it.
That's such an interesting place to be. That's the like Gary's barbell effect in a different context. Both sides. That's fantastic. So it sounds like you're pretty analytical and keep good organization. When you say you're in for seven figures, are you consciously kind of looking at how that's like diversified in terms of like NFTs or physicals? And I know you're big into the comics. Like, do you think about that stuff, like comics versus cards, or are you just kind of following your heart and your intuition, doing what you like?
Yeah, I'm a little weird. For being a Indian male, I am like not any and having a finance degree and working for a hedge fund company in the future in the past. I don't look at any of that crap, man. I look at like I'll just make up stuff in my head. The like last year, I'm like when I started collecting NFTs, I'm like I want 75, and then I'm like, for what reason? I just want 75. Gary will ask why that number. No reason. So I'm like, I want 75. Then I'm like, Gary was kind enough to text me a few times and chat with me a few times. And I'm like, so what should I do? I have the guy there. I'm asking him my questions. Like, what should I get? He's like, you need specs, man. So I'm like, okay. I told him I'm gonna get 7 this weekend, and so then I'm like, I'm gonna get 45. So I got my 45. Then after that, I was like, okay, goats. I found out that they're gonna continue giving stuff. I'm like, I want 10 goats, and then I told Senor Pants, I got 10 goats in case there's a case. I can get a free case. He's like, well, some cases have 12. I'm like, ah, damn, man. I gotta get 2 more.
You got to get two more.
So I got 2 more, and yesterday, I was able to upgrade one of the goats to a go, as you say. I think
Yeah.
Gary says go to me, a different way. But yeah, so
The,
there's no reason. I buy a lot of cases of cards and stuff. Now I'm into comic books. I have a pretty, I think, compared to most, a ridiculous VeeFriends collection of comics and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're ripping, I mean, how much? What's a typical day for you? I mean, I've seen some of these videos. I'm like, man, this guy's ripping for an hour long. Um, like
Um,
how many comics do you have?
So I just keep buying them.
You don't have an
Like,
idea of how many you have.
so I bought like a few weeks ago, I bought 240 ninjas. I bought because I knew I follow Mike JY, like we all do, and I listen to what he says. And then I bought like 100 Astros, maybe 200 Astros. Then I bought like 100 and something Gary B's. So I don't have money like just to buy them, and I'm gonna grade them. I'm gonna sell them. One of the reasons why I do a lot of videos is I have to build my personal brand. One of the things that happens is in the crypto world, I know E22 or I know Daddy Design, but who the hell is Daddy Design, right? So like I told him in the goat group, I was like, man, you guys are so close to me, but if one of you is missing, I'm gonna tell the cop. How does he look? I don't know. What does he wear? Where does he live? I don't know. What's his name? I don't know. But he's a maxi for so and
Yeah.
so. Like, so I thought, like, strategically, I thought, okay, people know me as Miami Luxury Realtor. They need to know me as Amit Bhuta. And if they go to or All in Miami, my tag or whatever on X. So if I go there, they're gonna know me as both. And the benefit to me is when I go to the national, which I'm going to, and I see someone, they're either going to call me Miami or they're going to call me Amit, but they're going to know who I am.
With you 100%. I've that's been my take since early, even to the point where I maybe used a PFP for a little bit during the early days, like 21 when everyone was doing it. But eventually, I was like, no, I want people to know. I want people to know who I am. I want people to recognize me, and So I love that. Um, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite comic? Well, I guess the story's separate. Do you have what's your favorite comic that you own or have pulled?
So yeah, I do. There's a guy named Simo. He does on Whatnot,
Yep.
and love the guy. Love his family. Just he's a friend. Like we become friends so quickly with people, like really close. He pulled me the Kind Warrior, and it's like it's beautiful. It's like Kate, and it's so nice. It's colorful. So I like that's my favorite. Then I have the Gary B sketch auto by Gary.
Saw
And
that. That's a great.
so
That was
yeah,
a great transaction. Two great people, and
thanks.
one
And
and a
you know
great
what?
item.
Honestly, I was an asshole in the transaction. I'm just being keeping it real. I could have done better when I was dealing with Ryan, and I love Ryan, but I let my feelings get in the way because I paid so much less for all the sketch covers I have. And I'm like, this guy's crazy what he's asking. And I should have been better at it. So one of the things, like I said about that Drake lyric, becoming, loving who I'm becoming, I try and improve on these things. And I love calling myself out and others calling myself out because if I don't, I'm gonna keep doing stupid stuff.
That's it's always an interesting dynamic, especially with transactions. I'm terrible at asking people for things. I'm not good at negotiation per se. Um, However, like if we're when you're doing so many transactions and wheeling and dealing, and there's all of these physicals flying around, like it's part of the game, right? Is that something like do you and you're obviously good at it, you made it a career, I mean over a decade selling cars, you're obviously doing well in real estate, like you have those skills. Is it hard to turn it off and or to be more um as you say like better for whatever for what that means as far as dealing with the community with that things? um and I'm like kind of circling, I don't know exactly what I'm asking, but
I know
are
what you're
you
asking. I
all
understand what
right?
you're asking.
All right, so
Am
I'll,
I am I kind sometimes or am I like an asshole when I
yeah, I
negotiate?
mean, we all like if you wanted to, like you could probably get the best deal every single time. Leverage, you know, you
Yeah. So one of the things I didn't tell you. So in real estate, for sure. I love negotiating in real estate. I used to play poker a lot. And so I like that. I like the bluff. I like all that stuff. So in real estate, when there's an inspection or something, I tell the seller, how bad do you want the house? I can get you all the money or you can lose the house. You tell me how deep you wanted me to go in. And they love that
yeah,
I was excited about it. Um, in this, one of the things, as you probably know, because you have such a big personal brand, you get DM'd all the time, right? And one of the things about me, I'm lucky about because I buy a lot of stuff, I get DM'd every day, multiple times a day, being offered stuff below market value. So in the VeeFriends community, I am I'm very kind. I'm very nice. I make it easy. If someone is selling something and I can tell that they're emotional about it, I tell them, sleep on it. Think about it a week before you sell it to me. I want, I don't, I'm very easy with negotiating. One of the things I learned about with Ryan is with that transaction is I was a hard ass because I took my experience from getting offered stuff below market value all day long and making that part of the equation of the value, and that's not always the truth. So yeah, I'm very easy to deal with when I buy stuff because I usually just say I get offered so much stuff all the time. I don't care if I have stuff because there'll be something else.
got it. I thank you for articulating that. That makes a ton of sense. Uh, but with that collectible, I think is just, I mean, that might that might be on like the power rankings when it's all said and done. I can make an argument that that's a bigger comic than number one. that I think Gary B is just the most underrated character. Like it's him, it's the actual guy, and it's the actual one of one sketch of the guy drawing his own character
Yeah,
when his story's getting introduced to the world. I think it's colossal.
that's my best collection in comics because I have the gold, I have the silver, I have all the, I don't have the lollipop. I don't even know if that one has been pulled. But that's my best. I have a lot of comic one sealed, a lot of things like that, but I love the Gary B one. I last night about to sleep. I'm like, oh, I mean these t-shirts. I have like 80 of them. I'm like ridiculous. So last night I'm like, I don't have the Gary B t-shirt. So I got like a red one. I got this one. I got that one because every video I do, I again to build a brand. If I'm outside and I'm wearing my shirt, there's a bigger chance that people will know the brand. Not that I'm anyone to build a brand, but if we all do it together, it builds.
Yeah, I love that. Gary B was my first T-shirt. I'm a big Gary B fan.
Nice.
I'm not like a maxi of any character, but that's has been top two the whole way for me. Um, no, that makes sense, and that's a sign of someone getting better and growing to point to that specific instance. And I saw you tweet. I don't remember exactly the whole story, but I remember you tweeting and saying, you could have been better. I don't know if it was a straight up apology or what, but I
Yeah.
remember you alluding to it. Um, I want to go back to V. So you went to VCon one.
I went to one and two. I didn't go to three.
What was your experience there? Because that was like, obviously the coming out party as far as IRL people connecting and putting faces to screen names and all the deals. So what were those
It
two events like for you?
it was weird for me because like in real estate, I was building my brand, and I don't want to say this in an egotistical way, but when I would go to real estate conferences because I built my brand, like 100 people would come up to me and they would do selfies and all this. And I went to this, I didn't know anyone. And I felt I'm a extroverted introvert. You know, if I could go on stage and talk to 1,000, 2,000 people easy without even thinking about it. But if I go to a party and I have to just talk to someone that I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna find another person to I'm gonna go to two people. So if they don't like what I have to say, I can exit, you know?
Or
So I loved it, but I'm looking so much more forward to the national because I know people now and they know me, and it's like I have family. Before I was going to someone else's family reunion, now I'm going to my own.
that's a great comp. That makes a ton of sense. Um, Topps Chrome, we're in the middle of we're actually 1 week ago, 1 week removed from the public release of Topps Chrome 26. You were in a very small exclusive group of people that got asked to be a sketch artist. I don't know your artistic background. I know you have a very long resume. I don't know your artistic background, but
Terrible.
bring me to the moment where you found out that you were going to have that opportunity, and share a little bit about the whole experience.
Yeah, so like many others, Jeremy called me, and and this was like I've been kind, same thing, same exact thing. You're a sketch artist. You have a day to do it. You need to turn it in. And I'm like the guy who draws in Pictionary that it are like stick figures, but
Yeah.
everyone knows what I'm drawing. And then the people that are drawing like really, I, I guess I'm lowest common denominator. That's me. And I mean, I'm just keeping it real. My wife is artistic, and her name's Rushmi. I'm like, Rushmi, I need some help on this. I need to do this. And she's a family practice physician and she works. So I had like at night when she got home till the morning to figure it out. And when you get like one card and you know that people may grade them, you're like, and she didn't know so much about VeeFriends. I was like, okay. I picked the Kindred Kangaroo because that was the second one that I got, and I love the meaning of it. The Kindred Kangaroo with the pouch has food for everyone always, and it makes other people better. But what I did find out is they're calling Kindred Kangaroo a he, but I read that pouches are only she's. So I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So it
Well,
was amazing. I'm so grateful for it. I don't know if I deserved it, but I'll take it.
did you? I don't think I saw it. Did you reveal your card or no?
Yeah, yeah. It was like sort of like the sketch of Gary's VF1 Kindred Kangaroo, but like a worse version.
Amazing. Well, very cool honor, and obviously well deserved. I think that they do a lot of there's a lot of conversation around this because it's a very special opportunity, and there's so many slots. So as someone that's such a great ambassador to the brand and it's so giving, um, I think you're very deserving.
Thank
So
you.
moving moving forward, I mean, I guess not moving forward, but just you've been there from the beginning. You've known what was happening, and you see where the puck is going now, where it is, where it's going. Collectibles heavy. I'm just curious for someone that's a fan, but also very business savvy, like yourself. How do you feel about the whole direction? 5 years in.
I'm elated. Gary's doing an amazing job. And, sometimes we think we know more than we do. He knows. He knows it. And I love, one of the things why I'm okay at content is because I story tell. And I learned that from Gary. And relatability. Like just like the basic examples, like when he tells a story and he says his friend's name, just saying the name like brings relatability. It's not a story, it's his friend, and if you see his friend, so like the storytelling has made it really helpful. And the comics so brilliant, those blind bag comics. As a 57-year-old, never buying one comic in my life, now I'm like gambling and on whatnot and enjoying it. And it's fun. Gary makes it fun. And I love that Gary tells us, all you OGs, I don't care if you buy anything again. I'm doing this to build a brand. And I love that. I love that. I love that Chrome this year is within 2 months, it's going to be everywhere. Prices are going to go down and it's going to be what it is. These erupts are going to be 2 grand, 1,500, whatever it is. But we're going to get so many people within the brand. So it's exciting. I'm so excited about it.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see. It's a master class in marketing and brand building and many other things.
I want to
There's
add one thing to that, and I'm sorry,
Yeah, please.
is in life to be the happiest you'll ever be. And Gary says this. I didn't get it from Gary. Have zero expectations. Don't expect. The only expectation you should have, and when I met my wife, before she was my wife, I said, Rushmi, I'm sorry. She's like, for what? You didn't do anything. I told her, there's going to be a day in the future that I disappoint you, where I let you down, where I hurt you. And I never mean that. And I just want to say sorry for that because that's going to happen. And that's basically Gary, right? He's going to disappoint us. He's going to hurt us. He's going to make us pissed off sometimes. But at the end of the day, he's not doing it on purpose. He's doing everything he can as the father of VeeFriends. And, so that's what I wanted to add.
I love that. And he's a human being. I think some people kind of with all of the loudness, and he's everywhere and on every platform. We forget sometimes he's just a guy, just like me and you. Uh, we There's a saying, zig when they zag. I'm curious on the collectible front, if everyone, and hopefully this is a little alpha, if everyone's zigging towards Topps Chrome right now and erupts and comics, where do you, Amit, zag to? in the
So
VeeFriends collectible world.
so Bren has a Spaces every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and they asked this question, and I said, the biggest opportunity I see if you like collecting cards is to buy Chrome 2025 when the price of 2026 is almost the same thing. Like, dude, are you stupid? Like, not to get it? Like, so, yeah, the height, and believe me, I bought a lot of Chrome. I have Chrome, and it's more to break and do my videos. And I love it. They did a great job, but I have some cases of 2025. Senior Pants is gonna break a bunch of my stuff. I have 6 Sapphire boxes, and I have a lot of 2025, a ton of it, and that's what you buy. You don't buy 2026 when everyone else is, unless you're just like it. You buy it when the store has when you can buy it for 29.99. When you can, and if you're not doing videos, if you're doing videos, you buy it, right? Go to StockX, see what it's selling for, and then you buy it. But yeah,
Love it. Always go the OG. And those erupts too. Like it was crazy to see what the original erupts were going for when it was such a smaller supply. But anywho, we'll figure it out. Looking at the time, couple more, and then we're gonna get to our last segment here. Um, the
I
character,
have 5 more minutes too that I can add to it.
got it.
So I
Thank
don't
you.
want to rush you.
Amazing. Every little bit counts. Uh, there's a, what character you probably heard this if you've been listening, but it's one of my favorite questions. What character do you admit need to spend more time with?
This may sound like the opposite of what we're talking about. Content condor. I do a lot of content, but real estate I haven't been doing as much. And I wanted to do this like an experiment. So I have a decent YouTube channel with real estate, but I'm sort of, real estate is played out in my life. I do it. The team does everything. And so these videos I do on X with the unboxing and ripping or whatever you want to call it, I started the my YouTube channel on ripping and opening stuff. And I've done so many videos. I have to upload more. I have to do a little bit more for real estate. I have You're gonna probably laugh. I have 40 real estate videos that are like 30 minutes long that are that I've spent probably 30,000 with the producer and all that I haven't uploaded just because I've been in VFam land too much. So
I totally understand. I have 5 years worth. I have 3 years of content that I would have content for the forever. I totally understand. But that's comma. That's amazing. That that's a passion. And I saw that your last couple podcast episodes were VeeFriends related.
yeah. I want
So
people to know me as Amit, the guy who likes NFTs, loves Gary Vee, likes to eat a lot, is on Zepbound because he wants to maintain his weight. He got a hair transplant, this, that, and the other, and is also sort of a nice guy sometimes. You know?
um, yeah, with the food, I remember I didn't write it down, but I feel like I read something that you can eat more than 90% of people.
Yeah, I could eat
Is
a
that
lot.
accurate? I'm might be
Yeah.
ad libbing there.
I could eat a lot more than almost everyone. I used to go to parties and people would tell me, "Hey, you need to compete against this guy who's like, I'm 5'8". This guy's like 6'4". I'm 140 pounds. I mean, I'm not like a big guy." And yeah, it was fun.
Give us a fun, like quantifiable anecdote or story. Like I ate this much pizza, or at Chick-fil-A did this.
I used to eat like I don't know if this is back in the day McDLTs, like a quarter pounder.
Yeah,
I used to be able to eat like 3 of those, a couple large fries, a couple apple pies, and then a strawberry sundae.
in one sitting.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
but when you get old, you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta stop.
I believe me. I'm learning that more and more every day, in a real way. um, Amazing. That's so fun. Before we get to our last segment, you've been talking to a lot of people. You say people are in your DMs. You're in the gift goat group, which is a very close, tight knit of people, and among all the other circles that you're rolling with, is there anyone or couple people that you want to call out in the best way, and give some roses to in the community?
So two people. One is you. I mean, you've got me to learn about so many people and their stories, and I feel like I have family. They don't know that they're my family yet because they don't know that I'm listening to it. So you for sure. You've added the most community to me. Um and then the second person, I mean there's 1,000 people, but the second person is E22. Um, he's amazing, man. This guy will give and give and give and never ask for anything ever, ever. And I like he'll call you out sometimes, which I love, and he'll tell his feelings, his truth to him, And I like that because one of the things in life is you don't want everyone to kiss your ass. You want someone to tell you that, dude, you screwed up, you know? And I love that about him. So him, like both of you guys, like gold medalists for sure.
Well, that's great company to be in. Thank you so much. Um, all right, one of my favorite parts of the show, micro macro spitfire. But before Amit, I thank you so much for coming on. I know you're super busy, um, and I just your it feels like you've been here for a while, but it felt like it just came out of nowhere. And just buying NFTs, but more importantly, just being like you said, a family member, just giving, the constant giveaways and the constant, just liking and commenting on people's posts and just being a cheerleader. And sometimes that means more than anything else, depending on the situation. But, you know, uh, there's no one that can't use another sincere, genuine cheerleader. So thank you for being that among many other things for us. And I'm looking forward to hanging at National.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for the kind words.
Here we go. Micro macro spitfire with Amit Bhuta. Favorite teacher you had growing up and one reason why?
This was Miss Lichtman. Like I told you in the beginning, this was 10th grade or maybe 12th grade yearbook. Like I'm this in an Indian family, just like other immigrant families. You get all A's and a B, and your dad says, "Why did you get that B?" But it was senior year, took yearbook, and she made me feel comfortable being a goofball like I am. I'm like an idiot, which is like a funny idiot, but like that she let me become who I am, and I love that. It changed my life.
Secret talent you have.
Secret talent I have. I could say anything with a straight face. I don't use it to my advantage, but I can say anything with a straight face. No one will know ever.
That poker face. I think we may have chatted, but I know you're a tennis guy. Favorite tennis player of all time?
Nadal. I love Nadal.
Uh,
And I was so impressed that you teach tennis. I'm okay. I was like a 4.0, 4.5. But yeah, I love Rafael Nadal. More than anything, his the my favorite thing about him is after the point, he doesn't care what happened during that point. It's next.
yeah, such a grinder. I was an Agassi growing up, and then I was a Rafa guy. Amazing. Do you have a favorite flip, whether it's a car or a house or a collectible? Favorite flip of all time?
Probably yesterday, flipping that gift goat to the gift goat with the GOO, the goo or the go, because I wanted to get that for a while and I didn't think I would be able to because it would be out of my reach. And I was glad I was able to get it.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite IP growing up?
When I grew up, I don't know if this is IP or not, but like Atari, I used to like do Space Invaders, and I think maybe High Anthony said that. But it resonated with me, like Space Invaders and all these other games. And I used to go to the arcade and play, so that was sort of cool.
Favorite movie?
This is a movie that probably a lot of people haven't seen. It's Enemy of the State with Will
Oh
Smith
yeah.
and Gene Hackman. I've watched it so many times. I just thought it was sort of cool.
I haven't heard about that movie in a while, but definitely a good one. Your favorite restaurant in Miami?
Favorite restaurant in Miami is a place called Rusan. I met my wife there. It's my friend owns it. It's a Thai Japanese restaurant, and it was a Match.com date, and I met her there. So we celebrate all our anniversaries like at Thai restaurants.
I love that. It's awesome. You can't go wrong with Thai and Japanese under the same roof. I guess you could, but I've it just sounds amazing. Bougie hotel or hiking, camping,
Bougie hotel, hiking, forget it.
beer, wine, or coffee.
A vanilla shake.
Let's
I've
go.
never had a cup of coffee in my life. I drink like maybe 3 times a year. Since I don't do real estate so much at these events, I'm not drinking wine, but I just like taste.
And never coffee, huh? You never
No,
been
I
curious?
just not, I don't like the smell sort of, and people think I'm crazy, but sometimes in Miami they have something called Cuban coffee where it's like shots of pre-workout
Sure,
basically.
yeah.
And so I've tried that once, but yeah, not really into it.
All right. Fun little guessing game here. Two-part guessing game. The next VCon, what year and what city?
Um, I, with Gary saying Miami and it was this year and it didn't happen, I'm thinking that it's not going to be Miami now. Um, I guess more a hope. I guess maybe a hope would be that it's like in Toronto or something, and maybe 2029,
I would love Toronto. Um, would you rather have a 2-hour group dinner experience with Gary or a 10-minute one-on-one?
2 hour.
The gang.
Yeah,
Uh,
just to hang out.
and then two questions left. So one, I started this new thing where the guest asks the next guest a question without knowing who it is. So I'm gonna ask you that one first. It was if you could make one serious decision for VeeFriends, what would it be?
So I'm asking the next guest this question.
You're answering this question, and then
Oh,
I'm gonna give you a second to think about your question. That's to pass on. So the previous guess was if you could make one serious decision for VeeFriends, what would it be?
it would be to get comics off the fishing and bring them back to the, because a lot of people, I know Chrome is there, but a lot of people are missing it. And I don't want to lose those people. Obviously Gary knows what he's doing, but yeah, it would be to bring it back.
Right.
So my question to the next guest, is that what you're asking?
Correct. That's your last order of business.
It would be to ask them, like, specifically, why VeeFriends? Why do you love VeeFriends? And not the same old stuff that everyone says, the community, this, that, and the other,
Yeah,
but specifically, what is it?
I love that thing. Off the greatest hits soundtrack. Um, that's a great question, and I think it's a good one to revisit time and time again, uh, because oftentimes I'm kind of reflecting on that as well. Uh, Amit, this was amazing. I hope this is the first of many chats and jam sessions, but again, appreciate you. Can't thank you enough. And quick little shout out. Where can we find you? All in Miami on X, I know, but are you there everywhere?
I'm everywhere, but I think like when Gary talks, bring value to people, hopefully, or disappointing them. Go on X every day. I do a video, and you could scroll through it really quickly. But I like to share what I buy and stuff, and hopefully it makes you feel like you're hanging out with a friend.
Beautiful. All right, my friend. Thank you. 55 minutes on the dot. There we go.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. You're the best.
Take care.